I think something happened in World of Warcraft.
Something? I mean, you wouldn't tell by, logging in. That's a bit rude of me, okay.
I have logged in. I haven't finished my first Covenant Assault yet because I've been so on. But I have logged in. Before that, I'm going to... So, just before the stream went live, I popped my head in and said, hey, Matt, how much longer do I have? He said 20 seconds. So now I'm sitting here. But I do have a double espresso from the coffee machine, and I'm just going to get the motherfucker now. I'll be back in under 15.
Yeah, go for it. I will. If you want to know about 9.1 and how do I put this? Everything in 9.1, the good and the bad, I think this document will be everything you need. So this... I guess we'll go to 1 a.m. again.
I think I will need this double espresso.
Yep,
maybe more. Maybe quadruple.
Yep, this will be my my Xth Red Bull today. The disgusting number.
So you're just full of bull semen.
That's
as
me.
The old story about Red Bull goes.
Yeah. See, what happened was I accidentally talented the Avenging Wrath glyph that gives you 4 wings instead of 2.
Oh,
that's what happened.
There you go.
That's what happened. So.
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay. Chains of Domination, week 1. Week 1, week 1 into Noozer's Dungeon.
Yep.
The Chains of Domination, I've been lashed down, covered in leather. It's been absolutely... Wrong game.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, at some point we need to talk about how fucking kinky World of Warcraft is these days. I mean, that hot Sylvanas on Tyrande action that people have been tweeting about, all that choking going on. I mean, we go into the Sanctum of Domination, Chains of Domination, and just look at Sofal. His friggin' nips are out. He's got this weird pouty little smile on him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Irvine, but... those wild devs, maybe it's getting hot and heavy for them.
I think they need an evening on the town, like something like that.
That's it. They need a stiff night's drinking. Stiff night drinking to get it all out of their system, perhaps.
Absolutely.
But yes, so I don't know where croquet means. I don't know what this means.
Croak is Croak the... I can't remember what... Croak the Tormented. Croak the Tormented is a rare in Korthia that was just refusing to spawn for a while. Where's Croak? Like, I haven't seen him in hours. So obviously, where Croak.
So I guess before we dive into everything here, we should almost do away with the stream dog, as much as Dak did a great job of preparing. We'll get to it later. We should talk about our actual impressions of this patch. So I'll start off with mine.
Yep.
Maybe give you, I don't know, either give you time to prepare or give you time to seethe and bubble and toil and
I
trouble.
don't need time to prepare. I prepared for this whole week.
Yeah, it's been practically bursting out of you. So to kick it off then, I had a funny experience. So number 1, I was glad I'm not American. Because as per usual, the poor Yanks, they get the worst experience, the poor bastards. They do that day 1 beta test so that, we get nightly hotfixes in EU and we have a smoother experience. And I only had 1 bug. Actually, I did have I used Harpoon, and of course I used the movement ability in a new zone of World of Warcraft, so I did get DC'd. But at least the reconnect button was there, and the reconnect button actually worked the first time, but I have noticed the reconnect button, if you leave it for too long, it does actually not reconnect. You click the button and it just gives you an error message. That's a bit weird.
I saw that happen. I think it might just cache your BNet login details for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, my primary thing is... I decided to try something new out. I was chatting to Mandel and a few people, going through the Cyberslat, right? Some of the mythic plussers, and a bunch of them just convinced me to hop into SV Hunter. So I've been doing that. So I think the number 1 thing for me is I have been having a novel gameplay experience, because frankly, disengaging and then harpooning back in, that's fucking cool. Right, as SV Hunter. I'll get into my impressions of that spec soon. So, right, I log in. I'd done minimal preparation for this patch, as I sort of covered with people. And I certainly have some opinions. So the first thing that happens is you get taken to the Battle for Ardenweald, the BFA. And I don't want to sit here and be mean, because you know, I'm sure to the people who made it, it's a really cool event and all that stuff. But what I would say is, man, the Battle for Ardenweald was so short. I really expected way. I mean, okay, I would have. I obviously played it in PTR ages ago. But man, it was like just fill up the bar, do a few clickies, fire some blobs. No real combat of any sort to be mentioned. And I was doing this in an item level, well, it was a 213 Hunter that I then swapped to having, like I was using an eye level 158 harpoon. Or not harpoon, you know, or whatever, sword, whatever. And I just destroyed everything. Absolutely fucking melted it, dude. Melted it. So, my experience with the Battle for Ardenweald was pretty simple. There were no battle lines drawn. It never felt like I was in a battle. It felt like I was doing, like, scenarioed world quests that gave me some cutscenes and cinematics. So, I think, you know, for the Battle for Ardenweald, I would have some just significant concerns about what Blizzard actually thinks scenario content should be. You know, what I would have wanted there is, I mean, shit, the jailers attacking. Well, first of all, you know, whenever we left Oribos, it would have been really cool if, you know, we left Oribos, but as we did, we sort of saw the jailers' forces truly encroaching in the city in a way that actually, you know, set up the fear of God in us. That big Zoval is about to do his big Venus on us. But no, it didn't really feel like that. I mean, the characters were saying that everything was looming, but it's that thing with Blizz sometimes. You know, show don't tell. They sort of struggle with show don't tell. But I got into the Battle for Ardenweald, and it's like, I'm just straight into it, and there's just dudes around me, and I'm about to kill the dudes. But in my head, it's like, if you wanted to do that well, you would set up the stakes. You would more clearly set up the sigil stuff. You would more clearly set up, you know, all of the logic of the battle. You would set up the battle lines, the core cast. So, you know, in my head, honestly, the Battle for Ardenweald should have been like an hour and a half of, you know, top-notch, highly crafted content. But instead, the Battle for Ardenweald was like 10 minutes of content and a bunch of cinematics. You know, cutscenes and cinematics. So, honestly, I was kind of disappointed with the Battle for Ardenweald just because I thought it seemed like it should have been more. And it just gave me some concerns about what Blizzard thinks narrative gameplay content should be. So, you know, I guess some thoughts there. But anyway, you do the Battle for Ardenweald. You then move in to, you know, getting ready for Korthia and all of that stuff. And, you know, I don't know if it feels a bit out of left field where you're like, okay, well, we've just invented a reason for there to be another, you know, Waystone Inn and another this and another that. And here's why we're getting rid of the Eye of Odin and getting rid of the... And it was all sort of established in the narrative, but it just kind of felt like, okay, I've, you know, finally, oh, good, I've got my mechanics, my mechanical stuff done. And that was it. You know, I freed Rosur, the archivist dude, and then it was like the story just ended. Because I have to wait till next week for the rest of the story. And what's sad there is, on PTR, you know, I played through more of that story, so to me, anyway, it didn't really feel like a great day one experience, just because it ran out of steam real quick. So, yeah, I mean, that was some of my initial stuff. Now, there are some positives. I'd certainly say running around, like, doing the dailies in Korthia, and just being able to, you know, oh, look, there's a little thing in my map. Oh, I'll go on a little diversion. Do the thing. You come back and you're, you know, happy, right? When I was doing a daily quest and I ran into, you know, the ingot. The ingot quest.
The Singing Steel Ingot?
Yeah.
The relic.
Yeah, and right beside that was the spectral chest with the 3 chains, and I had to go and search my, you know, the surrounding area for some keys. And I was, oh, cool. I've actually engaged with the zone a little bit. I found the keys. I've opened the chest. That actually just gave me a wee smile. I was quite happy with that. And then you're just, oh, look, little rare, oh, go kill you. And that actually, to me, worked out really quite well. So I was surprised how much I enjoyed aspects of my Korthia sort of daily experience. However, there is a really big difference here. Thus far, that's only really been me just doing the dailies and bumping into whatever I find while I do the dailies. So doing Korthia in that context has actually, I'd say, worked out pretty decently for me. It worked out pretty decently. And then going around the maw on a mount, I mean, goddamn, man, it just does feel so much better. It actually feels like content that, you know, I'm going to be able to stomach, that, you know, is doable. So I was quite pleased with that. Now, that said, overall, you know, the one thing I'm really pissed off I haven't got to this yet. I'm planning, like, to just no-life World of Warcraft on Saturday. I haven't done any of the new Torghast yet. which is a pity, because doing the new Torghast on the Survival Hunter, I'd really be keen to see what that's like, because I've not done it in SV before. So I'm actually, you know, I'm pretty happy to hop over, see what that's like. Certainly the production issues and scope of this patch does feel a little bit more on the smaller end. I think that they have tried to be as inventive as they could be with the Zone of Korthia, with what they had. And this is some stuff, because I remember, we'll get into it when we talk about your opinions, because I think you have some very, very interesting and poignant takes on this one.
Poignant's put in one way, yep.
Poignant, pointed, both, who knows? But it's that thing where basically, like, Korthia, if you're trying to do it exhaustively, you run into all of its design issues. But if you're just doing it the way that I was doing it, then, you know, you're running around doing your set daily things, but you get these, like, little happy smiley face moments where you're like, oh, cool, a rare, I'll go get you. Oh, look, a treasure, I'll go get you. And then it's that thing where I actually felt quite happy, because, you know, I've been sort of led along in these random little side quests throughout the zone, and it filled my bags up with stuff that I could take back to the Archivist, and a little bar goes up, and I'm like, oh, wahoo, bars went up, happy. But if I really wanted to optimize the going up of that bar, then we could run into some fundamental design issues. Something about despawning of chests and sort of degenerate tactics that are not really good for your fellow MMO players. That system very much seems to, seems to encourage. So it's weird. Where I'm left is knowing that with Korthia I can, you know, do a little bit of stuff, and as long as I don't try to go super ham and run into all of its problems, whatever, that stuff should be okay. I am left in SV, you know, talking to Cyberslat. I think that's how you say his name. I forget. He's MDI caster. I think he actually plays SV as well, which is great because he can funnel me loads of gear. Somehow I doubt that's part of the deal. Mantle and a few other people, you know. So I'm actually quite excited to hop into, to M+, and to hop into the new raid next week. Like, I'm genuine, and Tazavesh, obviously. I'm genuinely excited for that stuff, and I'm enjoying my WoW gameplay right now. But on the world content, it does feel a bit cheap. And then there is the other side of, hey, that fucking ripcord, dudes. Because just the little experience of playing around with soulbinds and looking at the changes in, you know, the energy bar moving, right? I'm just like, oh man. And then, of course, maybe we need to talk about Covenants more properly, but that thing of, I now feel bad as a Night Fae hunter because it's now the wrong choice. Kyrian is where you're supposed to go, because with the CDR on, I think, Mykonos, especially for M+, Resonating Arrow gets down to a 40-second cooldown, which obviously is going to be great for, you know, timing all your different pack pulls and things like that. So it's, you know, there was that sort of one-use Covenant swapping over thing. Do you know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about Covenants, not right now, but I'll add it to our little... I've got a little list of, you know, sort of little side topics we want to talk about. Okay,
that'll be at least a 2-hour discussion of just repeating the same mantra over and over and over again.
Yeah, well, you know, man, I have the burden of knowledge. And you know the knowledge that I have the burden of, and you know that basically nobody else has that knowledge, and it makes me sad. But it is part of the reason why I am going to be just a fucking man with a bludgeon when it comes to a few of these things.